So, could you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
My name is Hadas Frank. I'm an AI strategic consultant, lecturer on there, and a CEO of NextGen AI. It's an agency I build to help businesses and organizations implement AI, educate their teams, and just make AI more accessible for non-technical people. That's my main focus. Yeah.
Awesome. And when you talk about AI, what kind of services do you offer companies? Is it always bespoke, depending on what the client wants, or do you offer, or is there like a common service you offer them?
So you can say it's two services, but it's really in the end combined to one. So there is the businesses that just want to educate their teams about AI, to learn how AI can help them to be more productive. And there are the businesses that want to really implement AI, to start to using the little details until the big ones. So this is more the consulting, but inside the consulting, you get to a point that you educate also the team about the AI. So that's why it's really combined. But it's mainly two services, the consulting and the education.
Okay, awesome. And so you mentioned earlier you're based in New York. Are your
Yes.
clients mainly in that area, or what do your clients look like? What kind of industry are
Okay.
they in?
So AI have no borders, whoever wants, welcome. But mainly is New York and Israel right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they don't. It's not in a specific. They're not in a specific industry or.
No, there is people that more focus in specific industry, for example, AI for lawyers. But when it's come to educate for AI and teach them about productivity, it's not limited to any specific industry. It just the main focus is non-technical people. So you can say teams that not do, for example, engineering or anything that more technical, then it's not my target. Like it's not the people I'm working with. So it's more like, let's say, the HR, the marketing team, stuff like that.
Awesome. So obviously AI is gradually coming to being more mature and being implemented in different businesses. When did you start your own company?
Hmm. So maybe you can say a year ago, but it's more like a year ago that they start to develop the background details, but it's still newly, like maybe few months. But I'm doing AI already for 2 years since OpenAI announced their tool, ChatGPT. I came across it, and since then I start to play with it, learn about it, do a lot of research. But the company itself, it's still new, I would say.
Oh, fair enough. In terms, so that your company is quite new. Do you have a? Can you share any insights as to how you find your clients? Have you found out some things don't work and some things work? I mean, how's that process been? And what have your successes and failures have been
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
outreaching to clients?
So of course everyone have his own method. So for me, what works, I started by posting posts on Facebook, like a lot of content. So posting how AI can help in different industries or how companies implement AI. And when people saw it, then they reach out to me, hey, maybe she can help us. But also, what really works for me is the in person relationship. So, I really, really like to go to networking events and just go to AI events and present myself. And then people knows people. So, it's really like, oh, I might have someone, or can you maybe help me? That kind of stuff. So, mostly the in person relationship.
Awesome.
That's what really works for me.
That's awesome. And I guess in New York, I mean, it must be a great, probably the best place in the world for that
Yeah.
kind of events, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost every day they have different
Right.
events.
And so you mentioned a lot of your clients are in the US, some in Israel. I'm
Mhm.
kind of curious, what would you say is the business environment very different between those two countries? How does the culture change the way you do business?
I would say there isn't much different, a business is a business. There is some type of a way that you act everywhere. I would say it's mostly a different type of people. Like in America, they very like straight up to the business. In Israel, it's more like let's chat first, maybe let's grab a coffee, it's more like relax, even though it's a business. But I don't think there is much of a difference. A business is a business. You act the same way. I'm being myself at the same with both of uh culture. Yeah, I would say there isn't much different, unless in my opinion.
Right, fair enough. What kind of tools do you use the most? Like, what does your daily work look like, and what kind of tools do you call upon to help you?
So I would say that like sounds boring, but I'm using the same tools that I believe most of the people use, whether ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, because those are tools they really daily use tools. And then if I have special things I need to work on, then I use, for example, Gamma to build a presentation or to help me design a document. I have also access to Search GPT, so I use also that sometimes. Because it's just more accessible. It's inside the platform of ChatGPT. So I just click and I can do search. But again, it's pretty boring, but it's the same tools because those are really daily tools to use. But also, I don't think people sometimes understand how those tools can do so much for you. Rather than a regular ask question, get an answer. Like it can
Mm,
do really, really a lot of things for you. So
yeah,
Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Search GPT. That's
mm,
my main one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I completely agree. I mean, I've often seen when I people use different GPTs, their prompting is often very poor, and then the GPT gives an answer which they think is poor, but it's actually a reflection of what they asked as a question rather than what
Yes.
the model is
Yes.
capable of.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense that you would use those tools because it helps you understand
Yeah.
your customers and how they would use the tools on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But also, if people don't know really how to prompt correctly, that's really fine. There is a lot of GPTs that people invested so much and built it, and those GPTs can improve your prompt, and they do really great job. There is tools for that you do a copy paste type of prompting. So today it's just become more easier even to prompt. It's just about if you have the power, because nobody have the power to explain like to a 2 years old what you want to do, give it the background, what's the action. But there is a lot of tools for that. So if you use the right tools, you can receive an amazing result.
yeah, makes sense. Completely agree. So I think you mentioned earlier on you also do a few. You work at university a little bit. Is that
So
correct? Could you tell?
it's not like I'm a student also while I do the business. I'm finishing my degree. So I'm doing double measuring in the history of Middle East, international relationship and government science. So regard to the AI world, I'm doing my degree as a student, and then I got to a point that I'm like, I like this. I like what I'm learning. But I found out about AI during my studies and I fall in love, literally fall in love. And I was like, what should be my next step? Like I already started and I want to finish what I started. So I will respect my time that I invested in my diploma and just finish with it. But I was like, how what I'm studying can connect to the AI industry world. And I talked to some people that did the same and work in the AI industry. And they say to me that maybe in the regulation side, like the government and the company, I can be like the middleman, the middle woman, the middle person. But I like both. it's nothing bad. So I'm a student, but universities also request lectures and stuff like that about AI, but I'm not working at a university.
Also, I mean, I can guess probably most, if not all, of the students using these kinds of tools for research. Would that be fair or?
Yeah, so I cannot speak, of course, on behalf of everyone, but I am personally using. So, for example, when I have a big exam to prepare, I don't have the time like I used to have before to read all the big books with like 400 pages, and sometimes I can't even attend the classes, so I need to learn everything by my own, like everything by myself. So I build my own GPTs and make them expert in this field, this class. I upload the material, or the documents that I summarize all the information in it, and then I'm like asking the chat to teach me. So the chat teach me the material, and in your phone you can put the sound and then it talks. So while I'm walking out, I can hear the class. And now with the tool of Notebook LM, you can convert a PDF or link of the website to a product. So there is a lot of cool tools to use for students to make the learning more fun and accessible.
Yeah, I can imagine it's changing very, very rapidly. And I mean, the student experience is going to be very different from what it was
Yes,
just a
100%.
few years ago. That's interesting. So, yeah, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me. What's the best way for people to reach out to you? I guess through your LinkedIn, maybe?
Yeah, my LinkedIn. I'm available on my LinkedIn. Yes.